Picture this. You are driving down a highway. You know the exact feeling.
Oh, absolutely. The classic road trip wall.
Right, exactly. You've been in the car for like 3 hours. The kids are getting super restless in the back seat, and everyone is suddenly and aggressively hungry.
Yeah, panic mode sets in.
So you pull out your phone, you open up whatever map app you use, and you just type in restaurants near me. A list pops up. You pick the top one because, well, it has nice photos and good reviews. And 20 minutes later, you're sitting down to a great meal.
And it feels like total serendipity, right? Like the internet just magically handed you the perfect dinner spot right when you needed it most.
Exactly. You think you just made this completely spontaneous, totally free choice. But that spontaneous choice is almost always the result of a meticulously engineered, entirely invisible architecture.
It really is.
And welcome to today's deep dive. Today we are looking at the hidden mechanics of how local businesses actually capture our attention and our wallets.
Yeah, we're getting into the real nuts and bolts today.
We are. And our sole source today is this document you almost never get to see out in the wild. It is a highly specific internal digital marketing growth proposal.
Right. We are looking at a literal playbook created by an agency called the Antarami VA Network, and it's for a very real place. It's for the Godavari hub.
Which is an authentic Telugu restaurant, right?
Yeah, located right on the cover highway near the new toll gate in Rajahmundry. So this isn't some theoretical, business school exercise.
Right.
It's a granular strategy designed for a real business fighting for survival on a very specific stretch of road.
So our mission today, whether you are a marketer, a small business owner, or literally just someone who uses their phone to find dinner on a Tuesday, our mission is to deconstruct this playbook.
To figure out how a panicked highway search actually turns into a physical visit.
Because a highway-side family restaurant faces this really distinct geographical challenge. I mean, they have immediate physical proximity to thousands of people driving by every single day.
But translating that physical proximity into actual foot traffic, getting people to pull over, requires a very specific mechanism.
Right.
The document shows us that moving past just, generic social media posting to actual intent capture is where the local business war is won or lost.
Well, let's look at the starting line here. The proposal actually opens with an audit of where the Godavari hub is currently at. And reading through it, they're actually doing a lot of things right.
Yeah, they aren't starting from zero.
No, not at all. They have some early traction. They have an active Instagram they're posting on Facebook, and they have this prime location on the cover highway corridor.
And the audit notes they are already capturing customer review content, too. They're highlighting their authentic Telugu flavors, showing off their parking space, which, by the way, is a massive friction point for highway traffic.
Oh, if I can't see the parking lot, I'm not stopping.
Exactly. And they are capturing the family ambience well.
So this brings up my first pushback. If they already have an active Instagram, beautiful photos of the food, a great location near a toll gate, I feel like a lot of owners would assume they are already winning.
Right. They'd think their digital house is in order.
Yeah. Is this just an agency trying to invent a problem to sell a solution? Because it feels a bit like building this beautiful glowing billboard, but putting it in the middle of the desert. Like the billboard looks great, but does anyone actually see it?
That's the perfect analogy. A beautiful billboard in the desert only works if you give people the map to find it. And the proposal addresses that exact skepticism right away through its competitor analysis.
Okay, how so?
Well, it draws a hard line between visibility and discoverability.
Visibility versus discoverability.
Exactly. The Godavari hub has general visibility. If you look for them, they are there. But they are competing against entrenched giants who have mastered structured discoverability.
Right, the document points out competitors like Yuvaraj Family Restaurant. And Yuvaraj isn't just visible, they are completely dominant on the Just Dial directory with, get this, an intimidating 1,595 ratings.
It's massive.
And then there are established spots like Shrikanya Comfort and Shrikanya Inn dominating TripAdvisor for Rajahmundry dining searches.
Right, and facing a wall of social proof like almost 1,600 ratings, that totally changes the psychological math for a hungry driver.
Oh, completely.
If you're scrolling on your phone, right, and you see a place with 5 reviews versus a place with 1,600, the perceived risk of getting a bad meal drops to 0 with the established giant.
Right, you're not going to gamble your family's dinner on 5 reviews.
Exactly. So the proposal's core argument is that the Godavari hub is losing high-intent searches. High intent meaning the user is literally thinking, I'm hungry right now and I need a place to pull over.
So to beat those established giants, Relying on, nice photos of biryani just isn't going to cut it. You need structured local SEO, and you need review velocity.
Yes. And review velocity is a critical concept here.
Let's unpack that, because it's not just the total number of reviews, right?
No, it's not. It's the speed and frequency at which new reviews are actually coming in.
Okay.
If a competitor has 1,000 reviews, but they're from 3 years ago, and your restaurant is getting 10 5-star reviews every single week, Google's algorithm strongly favors the fresh data.
Interesting. So freshness beats volume.
Yeah, because it signals that the business is currently active, currently popular, and providing a good experience right now, not in 2019.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
So the agency outlines this highly specific philosophy for local businesses, shifting the battleground entirely. They argue you shouldn't fight on scale. You should fight on proximity, using a concept they call the two storefronts.
I love this framing. The two storefronts framework really clarifies how digital real estate actually functions for a physical location.
Let's go through it. Storefront 1 is your Google business profile. This is the immediate intent capture. This is where people are actively typing best restaurant near me or family restaurant in Cavour.
Right, they have their keys in their hand, they're ready to go.
Yeah, they're at the absolute bottom of the funnel. They don't need to be convinced to eat. They just need to be told where to turn the steering wheel.
Exactly. And then you have Storefront 2, which is social media, your Instagram, your Facebook.
Right.
This storefront isn't about immediate action. It's about building emotional memory.
Emotional memory.
Yeah, it's the reels of steaming hot Telugu food or posts showing a family enjoying the ambience. It plants the seed in your brain long before you're even on the highway.
It's basically the psychological prep work. It's a classic 1-2 punch. I like to think of social media as the movie trailer. You see the trailer for a blockbuster, it looks amazing, it builds all this hype. It makes you want to see the film. But Google Maps is the actual box office where you walk up and buy the ticket.
That's a great way to put it. And if social media is the trailer, missing the technical backend on Google Maps is like locking the doors to the theater on opening night.
Wow, yeah. You built the hype, but they can't get in.
Right. The proposal details how a local business uses this 1-2 punch to win against the large online platforms. Because the big food delivery apps and national chains, they win on scale and sheer convenience.
Yeah.
But for a local business, the winning message is never, we are everywhere. The winning message is, we are the most trusted nearby place.
Local spots win on proximity. They win on the perception of freshness, familiarity, and community trust. But to win at that digital box office, you have to do all this really unglamorous back-end work.
So much back-end work.
Like I noticed they use something called Q&A seating. Looking at the strategy, they aren't even waiting for customers to ask questions on Google. They're planting the FAQs directly into their own map listing.
Yeah, they are preemptively removing friction.
How does that actually work in practice?
So the owner literally logs in and asks, do you have ample parking for large vehicles?
As the business.
Well, yeah. And then the owner answers their own question. Yes, we have a dedicated lot. Or they ask, is the food too spicy for kids? And answer, we have a dedicated family-friendly menu.
That is so smart.
Right. When a user searches, those concerns are instantly resolved without them having to dig through 2 years of reviews to find out if their minivan will fit in the lot.
They also emphasize menu, keyword optimization, and photo geotagging.
Oh, geotagging is fascinating from an algorithmic perspective.
Yeah, explain that, because I feel like most people just think a photo's a photo.
Right. So when a restaurant owner takes a photo of their parking lot, the smartphone attaches EXIF data. This is hidden metadata that includes the exact latitude and longitude of where you were standing.
Okay.
When that raw file is uploaded to the Google business profile, Google doesn't just see a picture of asphalt. Its algorithm physically ties that image to the specific mile marker on the Cavour highway.
Wait, really? Google actually reads the location data from the image file itself.
It absolutely does. It becomes an anchor of geographic trust. Missing these technical steps is exactly why a restaurant with incredible food loses the map search battle to a completely mediocre restaurant that just has better data structure.
That is wild. Okay, so once you understand the theory behind these two storefronts, the problem becomes how to actually build and maintain them without the wheels falling off.
Right, the execution.
Yeah, and the proposal lays out this 90-day execution engine. It starts with the absolute foundational plumbing. NAP data, name, address, phone. The agency insists on standardizing this across every single platform. Google, Facebook, Instagram, local directories.
It has to be perfect. Search algorithms are essentially trust engines.
Truck engines.
Yeah. So if an algorithm sees your address listed as Cover Hway, like HWY on Instagram,
Right.
but Cover Highway spelled out on Google, and then your phone number has a different area code format on Just Dial, its confidence in your business drops.
Because it thinks it's a mistake.
The algorithm basically thinks, did they move? Is this a duplicate business? And when the algorithm is confused, it just ranks you lower. Standardizing that in-app data gives the trust engine a clean, undeniable signal.
Wow. Okay, so the document moves from that digital plumbing straight into physical, on-the-ground tactics. They propose setting up a review generation flow using QR cards on the tables, physical prompts from the staff, reminders from the cashier as you pay, and post-visit WhatsApp nudges.
They are heavily engineering the physical environment to harvest digital reviews.
Right. And you train the cashier to ask while the customer is paying, because the psychological friction is lowest right after a good meal, while the credit card is literally still in hand.
Exactly. They are targeting the moment when the customer's intent and satisfaction are at their absolute peak.
Because if you wait until they're back on the highway and the kids are arguing again, the intent is entirely gone. You have to capture it in the room.
You really do. And along with those reviews, the proposal mandates a rapid injection of 8 to 10 new, high-quality photos right away.
In month 1.
Right. But again, it's strategic. They aren't just taking, random blurry pictures of the dining room.
Right.
They specifically require photos of the parking lot, the peak time ambience with full tables to show social proof, and specific breakfast items to capture the morning highway crowd.
So with the foundation set in month 1, the strategy aggressively splits the social media platforms in month 2 to actually reach the community. They don't just cross-post the exact same graphic everywhere.
No, which is a huge mistake a lot of businesses make.
Yeah. Facebook is utilized specifically for local Tier 2 and Tier 3 community reach.
Right, and just for context, in the Indian market, Tier 2 and Tier 3 refers to smaller growing cities and regional hubs like Rajahmundry, rather than massive metropolitan centers like Mumbai or Delhi.
Got it.
In those regional areas, older demographics and local families are still deeply, deeply rooted in Facebook groups and local community pages.
So Facebook becomes the digital town square for the locals and the regulars. Meanwhile, Instagram is tuned purely for visual food discovery. They propose 3 to 4 reels a week, and the content pillars are strictly defined.
No random trending dances.
Exactly. No generic trending audio videos. It's all focused on signature Telugu meals, the family ambience, and behind-the-scenes kitchen trust. You show the kitchen is spotless. You show the chefs actively prepping the food.
Right. And then once that organic content is flowing and building that baseline of trust, month 3 hits and the strategy shifts to demand generation.
This is where they actually start spending money on ads.
Exactly. They launch local paid campaigns with a targeted radius for Kavor and Rajahmundry commuters, plus the highway travelers.
But the detail that stands out to me in the paid strategy is that they only put money behind the best performing organic creatives.
Yes. It is a highly disciplined, data-driven approach to advertising. You basically let your organic audience test your content for free. If a reel about your signature biryani gets high engagement naturally from your existing followers, it means the messaging works.
So only then do you put ad dollars behind it.
Exactly. You amplify it to strangers on the highway because you already know it converts. You aren't just guessing what people want to see.
See, reading through this 90-day plan, 3 to 4 reels a week, standardizing all data, weekly Google posts, training cashiers to ask for reviews, setting up WhatsApp automations, manually geotagging photos.
It's a lot.
If I am a restaurant owner whose primary job is making sure the supply chain actually works, the food is hot, and the staff is showing up, this digital strategy sounds exhausting. It is practically a second full-time job.
Oh, for sure.
So my question is, does this level of micromanagement actually move the needle, or is it just agency busy work to justify a retainer?
Well, think about the digital backend the exact same way a restaurant owner thinks about their physical kitchen.
Okay.
Prep work in a commercial kitchen, chopping vegetables, making huge vats of stock, organizing the walk-in fridge. It's tedious. It's unglamorous. Yeah.
And it is completely invisible to the diner sitting at the table.
Right. They just see the finished plate.
Exactly. But it is the only way a kitchen can efficiently serve 100 people during a Friday night rush. This 90-day plan is just the digital prep work. Yes, it is heavy lifting, but it builds an operating system. Once the prep is done, the service runs smoothly.
That is a great way to frame it. And that actually brings us to the economics of local growth. Because since this operating system requires significant upfront effort and ongoing agency management, how does Antariami VA Network actually convince the owner that writing this check is a smart business move?
Well, the sales pitch in this proposal completely bypasses traditional marketing speak. They actively distance themselves from generic posting packages and vanity metrics.
No, we'll get you 1 million views.
Right. They aren't promising thousands of likes from bot accounts on the other side of the country. They focus entirely on outcome-led, on-ground business logic. Yeah, they lay out the exact pricing tiers to execute this. There is a basic plan for 18,000 rupees a month, which covers presence cleanup and basic posting.
Right.
The standard plan jumps to 32,000 rupees, which steps up the reels and adds ad management. And then the premium plan sits at 55,000 rupees for really aggressive brand building. Plus a one-time setup fee of 10,000 to 20,000 rupees.
Now, a 55,000 rupee monthly overhead is a significant line item for an independent highway restaurant. That's not pocket change.
No, not at all.
But the agency neutralizes that sticker shock with a very grounded ROI statement, the return on investment math.
This is the best part. The agency argues that they don't need to double the restaurant's business to pay for themselves. They state that if this entire complex digital ecosystem generates just 8 to 15 additional family tables or group orders per week, the revenue upside materially exceeds the management fee.
Just 8 to 15 tails a week. That is literally just 1 or 2 extra cars pulling off the highway per day. Suddenly, the fee isn't some arbitrary marketing expense. It is a highly optimized sales channel.
It's a completely achievable metric.
Wow.
But it's not just about those initial 8 to 15 tables, right? The proposal relies heavily on the concept of compounding gain.
Yes, the flywheel effect. So those initial 8 to 15 new families pull off the highway. Because the physical product is good, they have a great meal.
Right.
Because the month 1 systems are active, the QR codes and the cashier prompts capture a percentage of those families, resulting in fresh 5-star Google reviews.
And then that fresh review velocity pushes the restaurant's Google Map ranking slightly higher for the next day's searches.
Exactly. The higher ranking means the following week, the ecosystem captures 10 to 18 tables. Those tables leave more reviews, pushing the ranking higher still.
It just snowballs.
Furthermore, the people who visited now have local recall. They follow the Instagram account, they see the reels showcasing the clean kitchen, and they become repeat customers. The digital prep work creates its own digital gravity, continuously pulling more people into the system.
So the initial effort is really heavy, but it essentially buys a permanent upgrade to the business's visibility. It turns a passive location on a highway into an active discoverability engine.
It proves that in today's local business landscape, the digital experience is no longer separate from the dining experience. It is the front door to it.
Yeah.
If the digital front door is broken, nobody gets to taste the food, no matter how good the recipe is.
So true. We've gone from the starting line of a restaurant with a good location, through the mechanics of the 2 storefronts, the grueling kitchen prep of the 90-day execution engine, and the compounding math that makes the entire system profitable. The core takeaway here is that success in local business today requires aligning your real-world hospitality with a meticulous, structured digital ecosystem that captures immediate intent and builds unshakable trust.
Absolutely. And to you, listening right now, whether you are managing a brand, running a small business, or just trying to decide where to stop on your next road trip, this deep dive reveals something fundamental.
What's that?
That choice that tops up on your screen, the one that feels so perfect and serendipitous, is the final polished result of a highly disciplined strategy running quietly in the background.
It really makes you wonder, if this level of invisible architecture like geotagging photos, standardizing data across directories, engineering review velocity, if all of that is required just to sell a plate of biryani to a hungry driver, what kind of structured digital ecosystem is running behind the scenes when we search for our doctors, choose our banks, or buy our homes?